Hola! Today we are going to combine the two topics that we've talked about thus far in the chapter. And those two topics have been direct object pronouns and commands. So this situation is you have a command and want to add a direct object pronoun to it. So for instance, instead of saying set the table, set it. Okay, instead of saying do your homework, do it. Okay? And as you see in the notes on the screen, here's how you do it. Okay, you decide what your command is. So in our example here, hacer la cama, we changed hacer to haz. That's the command form. Decide what your direct object pronoun is. In this case, you're replacing the word cama with la. Combine the two together, haz la. Okay, make it. Now in the case of a command with a pronoun, the pronoun has to be tacked on to the end of the command. You do not have the option of putting the pronoun in front. Now this is the first time we've run across that. If you have a statement or regular sentence, the pronoun can, or in most cases needs to be in front of the verb. Okay? In the situation of a command and a pronoun, the pronoun has to be tacked on to the end of the command. Okay? So in our example here, haz la cama becomes hazla, make it. Now, the grammar note that I have at the bottom of the screen has to do with accent marks. Okay? If the word that you end up with has more than 2 syllables, so once you've tacked on that pronoun, if you have 3 or more syllables, which for most commands that will be the case, you need to add an accent mark to the word. Okay? The accent mark will be placed on the third to the last syllable in the word. Okay? By adding that pronoun, you're changing the stress of the word, and that's why you need to add the accent mark. If you count out syllables, and we'll do some practice on the next slide, if you count out syllables, the third to the last syllable in the word is the one that needs to be accented. And as you count them out, you can underline the syllables in a word. For instance, if you're writing this, speaking-wise, it doesn't make a big difference. Okay? However, when you write it, that's when you need to add that accent mark. Okay, on the next slide, we're going to go through some examples. You'll see where the accent marks were placed, that kind of thing. Pause here if you need to finish writing these notes. Otherwise, we'll go on to the examples. Okay, here are our ejemplos. Here are our examples. Okay, I've got the original command, and then what happens when you replace the direct object in that command form. So, pon la mesa, the command for set the table. If I was going to replace mesa in here and say set it, our phrase would be pon la. Okay, so pon la, set it. If I count out syllables, pon la, there are only 2 syllables there. I do not need to add an accent mark. Okay, the next 4 examples, though, all of them you need an accent mark. Mezcla las verduras, mix the vegetables. Mix them, mezcla las. If I were to count out from the end, the third to the last syllable is mez, and so the E gets the accent mark. When you're adding accent marks to a word, remember that only vowels receive accent marks. Okay, the next example, prepara los huevos, prepare the eggs. If I want to say prepare them, prepáralos. Okay, prepáralos. Third to the last syllable, par. The A, the first A in the word, gets the accent mark. Saca la basura, take out the garbage. That's the command. Take it out, replacing la basura with la, saca la. Okay. Third to the last syllable happens to be the first one of the word, sa, and so the first A gets the accent mark. Come las verduras, okay. Eat the vegetables, eat them, come las. Okay. Come las, the O gets the accent mark. Okay. Accent marks, as a reminder at the bottom of the page, accent marks only go on vowels, and if there is more than one vowel in the syllable. Okay? For instance, calienta. Okay? If I want to say heat them up, calienta los, for instance. The syllable that gets the accent mark has 2 vowels in it, I and E, next to each other. The E would get the accent mark. It's the last vowel in the syllable if there happens to be more than one. Okay, so hopefully these examples help. We are combining the command and the pronoun together into one word and usually adding an accent mark. We're going to do a practice activity on the next slide. So pause if you need to finish these notes, and then we'll go on to that. Okay, we have several practice activities here on the screen. The first one are 5 sentences where I'm asking you to put this in the command form along with the pronoun. So like in numero uno, instead of to mix the salads, you're going to say mix them. Okay? And so you'll have a one-word response, possibly with an accent mark. Also, I would like you to complete activities 34 and 35 on page 216 of your textbook. Pause the video here and complete those activities. Then, as we restart the video, I will go through the responses for all 3 of them. Okay, bien. Here are the responses to the activity that was on the screen. Okay, so with numero uno, to mix the salads, I want to say mix them. Mezclar changes to mezcla, because that's the command form, and add in the las as one word. So mezcla las, the accent mark ended up on the E. So that's the third to the last syllable. Numero dos, sacar el pollo del horno. Okay, you want to say take it out of the oven. Keep del horno on the sentence. The only thing we're replacing here is pollo. Okay, that pronoun is lo, sacalo, the first A gets the accent mark. Okay, numero tres, poner los platos, put them. Okay, put the dishes. So put them, ponlos. There are only 2 syllables in that word. If I were to count from the end, there's no accent mark because there's no syllable there. Okay, abrir las ventanas, you want to say open them. Okay, instead of to open the windows. So open them, abrelas. A, at the beginning of the word, is its own syllable, and that's the one with the accent mark. And yes, you can have an accent mark on the first letter of the word. Okay, our last example. Try the rice. Okay, try it. Prueba is the command, and lo is the pronoun. So pruébalo. Prue, that first syllable, is your accented syllable. And notice the accents on the E because it's the last vowel in that syllable. Okay, so that's the activity on the screen. Hopefully that went pretty well for you. Actividad 34 in the book. I am going to just quickly go through the multiple choice for you. Numero uno should be a. Numero dos, se. Numero tres, be. Cuatro, cinco, seis, and siete are all a. So 4 through 7 you had all a. Okay, actividad 35. Said that your friend is helping you move, and you're going to say where to put the following items. Okay, so you're going to use pon as the command and then add the pronoun to it. So I'll do the first 5 as examples. For numero uno, la cama, ponla en la habitación. Put it in the bedroom, ponla. Numero dos, las plantas, ponlas en la sala, or ponlas en la cocina. There's another number of different locations you can have for that response, but the command is ponlas. Número 3, la comida, ponla en la cocina. Put it in the kitchen. Número 4, ponlos en la cocina. Okay. Los vasos is replaced with los. Put them in the kitchen. Y número 5, ponlo en la cocina. Okay, replacing el microondas with lo. So ponlo en la cocina. Okay, hopefully we're doing pretty well on this. Please check the website if there are any other review activities. Y hasta mañana.